This video here tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to show everybody the cold start on with this Edelbrock Proflow4, and this is a DCI Motorsports RA5, sorry, tunnel port engine, and it's all aluminum. It's got aluminum block, got aluminum heads, of course, and aluminum intake. And so anyhow, what's going on is the Edelbrock system is a very, very good system. It's port fuel injection. As you can see, it's got an injector for each cylinder, and it's got a 1000 CFM throttle body on it, and the distributor is a dual sync, so it's got the cam sensor and the crank sensor in the distributor. And you have to run a electric pump with that's capable of 100 psi, but we regulate it down to I think we got this one set at 43 or 46 right now. And what we're doing is we're trying to fine-tune this thing, because what's going on is my heads are so efficient, they just don't like a lot of fuel at lower RPM. And so what's been going on is it's been too rich, and it wants to load up when we try to fire this thing. So we're going to fire this right now. It's icy cold. We have not started the engine yet today. And then I'm going to show you on the gauges, because we got the you can do this with your cell phone, and you link it to Edelbrock, and they you can tune the engine or the fuel injection through the cell phone. So what we're going to do, what we found works best so far, because we've got all the fuel pulled out, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute, with this tune, and this has been the best tune so far for the engine. It runs really well once it gets a little bit of heat in it. It doesn't need a lot, just a little bit of heat, and it'll start right up. It revs nice, it's clean, there's no hesitation. It's not running fat, not running lean. It's the injector short trim and long trim are good. Everything's good. The only problem we're having with this thing is we're having a cold start issue, and really not an issue. I mean, it's something we can work around, but I just want to show everybody how it starts. And the reason that is because this has got a big cam in it. Well, not a big cam. Let me back up a little bit. I don't consider it a big cam, but a lot of people consider it a big cam. But it's got a 118-degree lobe separation, which builds manifold vacuum. And this program that we have in here is designed for, what, 12 inches or less, right? 5 to 12 inches. 5 to 12 inches. And this engine actually, with this cam, with that lobe separation, is making, what, 13 to 15? 14, yeah. Yeah, somewhere around 14, 15 inches of vacuum at idle. And so it's...
Once it warms up.
Yeah, once it warms up a little bit. So it's just kind of giving us a little bit of a fix. So let's see how this thing starts right now, Brandon. We had the door open. I got the door open, and you can see snow on the ground there. And we've got a little bit of cold air coming in here. So this engine's cooled off quite a bit. So we'll see. But what we found is we got, as soon as we hit the ignition switch to energize the fuel pump, we got to hit the start button. Alright, so started up pretty deep at that time. It's running a little bit rich, but it's not bad. I can live with where it's at right now. But that's as lean as we're going to be able to do this program. And I'm going to show you guys that here in a minute. So what we got is a chart, and what you do is with this plus and minus right here, you can add or take away fuel. Now this is the cold start, so this is like giving an accelerator pump shot, like pumping the carburetor once or twice. No? I thought this was that.
Enrichment.
I thought the next chart's the enrichment.
No, the fuel pump shot is like hitting the throttle, where we pull fuel out of that too.
Okay.
I'll show them.
So I'm a little bit off, I guess, on what I'm thinking this chart's for. So anyhow, we have it maxed out to the minus. It won't go any lower than minus 20. This is the one I thought was the one you're talking about.
No.
Okay.
This is only to keep the engine, the air-fuel ratio close when it's cold.
Right, but isn't that other one like a pump shot whenever you pump the accelerator?
No, this is just advanced into when you get heat.
Not this one. I'm talking about the one we just looked at.
This is the basic. It's pulling minus 20 out of every temperature. Then you go into advanced, and you add or subtract fuel That
Alright,
means temperature range.
so you can look at that chart too, and you can see we got it maxed out just about too. So as it warms up, it wants a little bit more fuel, so we don't have to pull as much out. But up here when it's cold, you know, weather's the temp there. That's 0 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit, and we got it maxed out. We got as much fuel out of it as we can take out.
We've already warmed up. We're up to 84 degrees, so we're at minus 18 at this point right now.
Right. So you can see the green dot. That tells you where you're at temperature-wise with the engine. And right down here it says 88 degrees coolant. On the green dot, it's 76 to 100 degrees. We got minus 18 on the fuel right now. We could probably pull it out a little bit more, but it seems to run pretty good right there. So we're not going to mess with that too much anymore. So now where's the accelerator pump shot at?
Yeah. Strength fuel.
Okay, so strength fuel, you can see we got that maxed out at the minus side as well.
And it also has the advanced stable.
And that, yeah, so you can adjust that, and we got that one maxed out. So it doesn't want any fuel whenever we start this thing. It really don't like it. And so as the engine warms up though, and as you can see, this thing tells you where it's at temperature-wise. There's your manifold into the vacuum right there. It's running about 13 to 15. Coolant right now is 100 degrees.
It just went up.
Yep.
The temperature range.
Just moved up the other temperature range, yep.
And the engine started to smooth out a little bit more too.
So, you know, we can't max this out anymore. We're at minus 25. That's the most that this program will allow us to remove fuel. And because of that, you know, like Brandon was just saying, that it's starting to smooth out now because the fuel, air-fuel ratio is starting to lean out. But we're happy because it's not blowing any black smoke. It's not hurting the engine. Everything looks really good. It starts nice and easy. On a really, really cold day, I wouldn't try to fire this engine because it's got aluminum block and it's just not a good idea. We keep the shop right around 60, 65 degrees, and before we open up the door, and of course you can see outside it's got snow on the ground, so we're at probably 30, I don't know, 30 degrees, maybe 28 outside right now. Whenever we open that door, it cooled the engine off. So it went from being shop temp of around 60 to 65 degrees to probably down around maybe 50. I love this Edelbrock fuel injection. I really do like it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying that for this particular application with the camshaft flow separation and what we had to choose for a program to make this thing run right when it's warmed up, it's a little bit skewed for cold startup. It's not the end of the world. You can live with it. And if it don't start, turn the key on. Do not open the throttle until after the key is on. There it's starting to smooth out. Now it's really starting.
The O2 sensor's kicking in.
Yeah, the O2 sensor's starting to take over, and you can tell that it's going to try and correct the air-fuel ratio. When it's cold, it doesn't run on the O2. But anyways, I don't remember where I was at now. So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this cold start. Let you guys see the Edelbrock Proflow4 on our Ram RA5, and it does work extremely well. And there's our short fuel trim right there.
This is a fuel modifier. You can see we can pull, that's your add fuel in now to get the short fuel so to try to get around zero.
Once it warms up.
Once it warms up.
Yeah. So we had to add a little bit of fuel whenever it warms up. Yeah. Yeah, quite a bit actually, yeah. So look at that manifold vacuum. For a cam with 250, 270 at 50.
Because of that also, the idle on this thing is high, so you'll see it bounce back and forth between the cruise and idle.
A little bit.
That's why you're seeing the RPMs up and down a little bit.
Until it warms up. Yeah. Right now it's trying to learn.
Well, it's also holding the RPMs up high right now. You go back to the gauge display. It's calling for 1230 RPM. So it thinks that it don't idle there yet. It ain't up a temperature. As it warms up, this will come down.
Right. And our IAC motor will change. Right now it's running about 20%.
Yeah.
And right now it's in closed loop, but it keeps bouncing in and out, so it's just getting
the
into
O2
it.
learn is not even on yet.
Yeah, it's not learning from the O2. That's what that red dot means. But our coolant temp's starting to come up.
Yep.
So it will start learning here. Once it gets to 180 degrees, it'll start learning.
I think about 168 or 173 when you start seeing it.
Start seeing
pop
it
in
bounce.
and out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But our manifold vacuum increases as the engine warms up. There it was almost 16.
See, the idle part just came down some.
Yeah. Really cool setup, and it's for a hobbyist or for a home user. This is it gives you enough tunability you can make it run pretty good. And you'll see Evan Perkins has dynoed his engine with the Edelbrock Proflow4, and he's got a Ram Air 5, and basically the same setup as we got here. But his is only a 461, I think.
Look for the video to come out.
Yeah, watch for the video to come out. That's through Hemmings Motor News. He's going to be releasing those here soon. Alright guys, hey, I just wanted to give you an update on this because we want to get this engine off the stand, and I wanted to do a little bit of educational video for everybody.
Going over 15 inches of vacuum now.
That's pretty amazing for that size of camshaft.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're having a little bit of tough time getting it to run right. Well, it's cold. Once it warms up, this thing runs great. As you can see, we're at about 160 degrees now.
167.
167, he says.
Load up a little bit.
Yep, I loaded it up a little bit, but that thing revs pretty good. Alright guys, thanks for watching.